Hi guys, good morning. The doc is in the house today, making his debut, so to speak. First up, I think kudos to the team who have come up with this brainchild of JomUnited, a YouTube page for us United fans to rant and rave, and also to talk all about United. So a big shout out to both Benjamin and Dominic. You guys have really made one of my lifelong dreams come true. And I think it's also the same for the rest of the guys who are actually involved with this YouTube page. Really disappointing for us to get off to a losing start in the FA Cup with Leicester today. I think poor team selection and really poor defending cost us a place in the semi-finals. I mean, why didn't we put out our strongest team when the international break is on the horizon? We should have put out our strongest team, and they can get some rest during the international break. There was no necessity to rest our key players like Bruno Fernandes, Cavani. They should have started from the beginning. We gave away 3 sloppy goals today. I think Fred had a horror show. The first goal, I don't think he's to blame alone. I think Maguire has to have a hand in it. There was no need to play a pass to him in such a dangerous area. You could have pushed it wide to Telles, who was very free on the left. For the second goal, nobody closed down Tielemans. He was allowed a free walk through our midfield and a free shot at goal. And for the third goal, Iñárritu left totally unmarked at the far post. Unacceptable defending. And all this after Greenwood had actually given us some hope. When the Beek selling a dummy, I think the only thing that he did right the whole half was to actually let the ball go through his legs. I think the game aside, I would like to bring up a debate that has been going on between United fans for the length of this season. The need to play 2 defensive midfielders. Right, I think a lot of us have been wondering, from the time of Fergie, he never played 2 defensive midfielders. But then again, let us examine the evidence. So, Fergie used to play most of his teams were based on a very attacking 4-4-2 with wide wingers, and he used to play two central defenders, and it would be really, travesty if he had to play 2 defensive midfielders. So what he did was he normally paired either Scholes with Keane, and one would sit back in a more defensive role and one would push forward. And even when he did use 2 defensive midfielders like Nicky Butt and Keane together, then Keane would probably pour forward a little bit more than Nicky Butt. But again, tactics have changed over the years. We now see a very high pressing game, and we've sort of evolved to a 4-2-3-1 kind of formation, which allows a very high pressing by your strikers and the 3 behind him, the one sitting behind him on the wings, and also the deep lying playmaker per se. And I think what we also see is with the 4-2-3-1, we see the left back and right back, Shaw and Bissaka very high above the midfield line pressing, because you have 2 defensive midfielders in place. In my opinion, I think the favorite pairing of Ole is probably McTominay and Fred, and I wouldn't consider McTominay as a defensive mid per se, considering that he tends to look to go forward. He has added goals to his game this season, probably towards the end of last season as well, and maybe he's more of a central midfielder, and maybe should be given a bit of a free rein to move forward a little bit more tactically, and that could make a difference. But I think today's game, where we played with 2 really defensive midfielders in Matic and Fred, and they both had very poor games, giving the ball away too frequently, and that was probably detrimental and led to the result that we had today. Terribly disappointing, but do leave your comments if you have any on the 2 defensive midfield debate, the 4-2-3-1 formation debate, and let's see what the comments are. I mean, I would like to know what are the other comments. Of course, what I feel is slightly different. Everybody has their own opinion, so feel free to leave your comments in the comment section, and feel free to debate. Anyway, a disappointing night today, but we look forward to better nights in the future. and I hope that the next post that we do will be after United win. Always #believe. Good night.